You guys really seem to enjoy these worst to best videos, so let's continue the streak and do another one. I know most of you requested the medic rifles and the assault weapons, but today I thought, you know what would be interesting? Ranking all of the gadgets in Battlefield 1 from worst to best. So like always, sit back, relax and enjoy this video. I'm not gonna give a trigger warning guys, you already know how it goes. Also, before we start, I want to let you guys know that my next video is gonna be absolutely awesome. I did a lot of effort in making it, so I'd appreciate if you guys would subscribe to the channel and turn notifications on if you haven't already. Trust me, that video is gonna be epic. With that being said, let's start off with the worst gadget in Battlefield 1. So the absolute worst gadget in Battlefield 1 has to be the sniper shield. This gadget is totally useless for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it promotes sitting in the back and camping and not doing anything besides trying to snipe people from long range. You're not playing the objective. Also, the moment you have a sniper battle with someone who is somewhat skillful, he could easily just snipe you through the hole in the sniper shield. Not to mention you get tunnel visioned when lying behind the shield. It just sucks in my opinion, and I think most of you will agree with me. On to the second worst gadget in the game. This is yet again a sniper gadget. I'm talking about the sniper Decoy. I mean, the idea behind the gadget is not that terrible. Put a fake head on a stick which portrays a sniper glint to the enemy, and once it gets hit by the enemy he is outlined for your whole team. The problem is, it pretty much never freaking works. 99% of the enemies aren't stupid enough to shoot this random floating head. At least not in my case, probably because it just sits there motionless, so I think pretty much everybody knows it's not a real soldier. By the way guys, for the sake of this video I didn't really count the ammo and health pouches and crates, as they are pretty important in your soldier's loadout, and it didn't really make sense to me to rank them along the other gadgets. Same goes for the medical syringe. Next up on the list is the repair tool. Now, I know what you are thinking, the repair tool objectively isn't that bad, and that's true. The thing is, it is pretty useless. The main idea behind the repair tool is to, well, repair vehicles. That's pretty obsolete since the vehicle's driver automatically has a repair tool of its own, and can even repair the vehicles he is in from the inside. So in my opinion, that makes the repair tool pretty useless in the grand scheme of things. It does sometimes come in handy, as you can see in this clip right here, to repair some of the broken stationary weapons, but other than that I can't really place it any higher on the list than this. Next we have yet another sniper gadget, this time the flare gun. And I'm not talking about the spotting flare, which is actually pretty damn amazing and will be way higher up on the list. No, I'm talking about the flash variant. You know, the one which is supposed to blind you? Let me ask you a question. How many people have you seen running around with this gadget? Exactly, and that's for a reason. There isn't really any good use to it. Let's say you can use it in a 1v1 situation and you blind your enemy. Guess what? You are blinding yourself too. So I don't know, it is a cool idea as it's basically a flashbang, but it doesn't really work that well in game. Heck, you might even switch this spot with the repair tool, because this might be even worse. Up next we have the K-Bullet. I'm sorry Scout Class, you just got the shittiest gadgets. K-Bullets are basically armor piercing bullets that can do some damage against enemy vehicles and enemy armor. Now notice how I said some damage, because against tanks it does around 5 or 6 damage points. Like what the hell is even the point? Yeah, in some cases if a vehicle is already disabled you can get a lucky kill, or you can do a little bit more damage against a plane than regular bullets, but the fact that you have to reload each bullet separately, it's just a major drawback, and that's why it's so low on the list. Next, we finally step away from the Scout class and actually look at the Assault class. And you might be wondering what gadget from the Assault class can be this low. They all do good damage and can kill people very easily. Well, some of you might have missed this, but recently the Assault class got a new rocket gun. The Aaa Rocket Gun, and it's basically the normal AT rocket gun, but it's meant to shoot at enemy aircraft. Now in some cases you can do some damage, but that's literally only against planes. You know how much damage you do against enemy tanks with the Aaa Rocket Gun? 1 damage, and against infantry it's also garbage. Against planes it's not that bad, you might get something between 30 and 40 damage. but then you have to reload another shell, and by that time the plane is already gone. So no, I don't really like this gadget. Guess what, for the next gadget we're going back to the Scout class and take a look at the Trench Periscope. Again, like the Sniper Shield, the reason why I don't really like this gadget is because it promotes camping in the back. You can even stay behind cover and look over objects to spot enemies and outline them for your whole team without ever exposing yourself. So it can actually be pretty useful, and that's why it's not that low on the list. But besides spotting people, there isn't really any use to it. Yes, you can see the distance to whatever it is you're looking at, but with the lack of bullet drop in Battlefield 1, it's not really a big deal. Next, we finally have some deadly gadgets. On this spot on the list we have the AT mines. Although I'm not a big fan of the passive playstyle that goes along with this gadget, it's pretty useful. I mean, what more can you say about an anti-tank mine? You lay it down in a spot where most likely a lot of vehicles will drive, and you blow them up. The best map for this gadget is by far Aaa. Because of the tight pathways, it's easy to predict where enemy vehicles will go, and you can get some easy kills with that. Next, we have the rifle grenades for the medic class. I wasn't really too sure which would be higher up on the list, either the rifle grenades for the medic class or the crossbow launcher for the support class. I went with the rifle grenade because although they are basically the same, the crossbow launcher can be restocked with your own ammo crate as it's a support gadget, where the rifle grenade is a medic only gadget. And what more can I say about this gadget? They are basically just grenade launchers, which are always good. You do have some different variants such as the high explosive variant, which do a little bit more damage against vehicles, but a little bit less against infantry, and you even have a smoke variant, which is, you know, a smoke grenade. One spot higher on the list is, like I said, the crossbow launcher. And next up on the list we have yet again a scout gadget. And this time we have the Tripwire Bomb. Because of recent patches it can now do 100 damage and you get 2 of them, which is pretty good. On maps like For the Voe and on game modes like Rush, it's extremely useful. You can also have the incendiary and gas variant, but I prefer the explosive variant. These gadgets are pretty useful to get some easy kills. Next up we have the Dynamite for the assault class. Again, pretty self-explanatory. It's very useful to set up a trap on game modes like Rush, and because it's so powerful and because you get 3 sticks of dynamite, you can have so many kills in clustered situations. It's pretty damn effective if you can play it to its strength. And now a gadget that's extremely deadly in the right hands, we have the Limpid Charge. Not only does it massive damage against vehicles, it can bring down whole buildings with ease and has an extremely big blast radius. Getting kills with this is no big deal, although because you only have 1 to your disposal, it's not ranking higher up on the list. It also sucks you need to have 2 or 3 to blow up an enemy tank, whereas for example in Battlefield 4 you had multiple C4 charges in your inventory, and if you were to get close to an enemy tank you could blow it up without restocking. Up next, we are by the way nearing the top, we have the Mortar. Although it is pretty much hated by everyone, you can't deny that for example on operations on Argonne Forest, it's extremely good. And it used to be even better back in the day before it got nerfed. Another cool feature about the Mortar is the fact that you have 2 smoke shells to fire. So it's not all about killing the enemy, you can also create some visual cover. Now we are entering the top 3. The third best gadget in Battlefield 1 is the anti-tank grenade, and it's actually not fair to count this as a gadget because it's basically another set of grenades. It does massive damage against enemy vehicles, and like I said, you get 2 extra grenades to spam. If you play on tight maps like For the Voe, you're bound to get some extra kills with these. On number 2 on the list we have the anti-tank rocket gun, because this is pretty much the only long-range weapon that can do explosive damage against enemy armor and infantry. It's pretty much the only thing we have in Battlefield 1 that somewhat resembles the rocket launcher from Battlefield 4. In Battlefield 4 you had a whole array of rocket launchers, but in Battlefield 1 it's basically just the AT rocket gun. And now for the number 1 spot, the best gadget in Battlefield 1 in my opinion is the spotting flare for the scout class. The spotting flare for me is by far the best gadget in the game. Once fired, in the radius of the flare you can see all enemy activity, which is just an insane amount of valuable information. Not only you can tell the enemy's locations, but also enemy explosives, and you get 2 flares to shoot. This gadget is easily my go-to gadget in Battlefield 1, and every scout player should have this in their loadout. And that's about it for the video, guys. Do you agree with my list? Let me know down in the comments. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Remember, I have an insane video coming for you guys soon, so don't forget to subscribe with notifications on. And with that being said, I see you guys next time.